Well, we have a little Fiesta. Auto addicts. So, as you've seen from a previous video, the Renault is yet again buggered. What that means is I'm back in a works pool vehicle. Now, last time that was a little Fiesta van, 1.6 Duratorque diesel Fiesta van, Mark 6 I think. Well, this time we've got rid of the van and our pool vehicle now is a Mark 6 Fiesta 5-door hatchback. Now, I think I did comment at the time to see that video on the Fiesta van. There'll be a link up there somewhere, right along there. But I was interested to see what the difference between the van and the hatch would be, because I was very impressed with the way the van handled. It was actually really good fun on the back roads. So is the hatch any better or any worse? Well, this one's a 1.5 Duratec turbo diesel. It is obviously heavier, being a 5-door hatch rather than a van, which was the main thing I was interested to see. The van was such good fun, but it was quite skittish on the back end without any weight in the back, no seats or anything like that. This has obviously got it. And I have to say, I've had this for a few days now, and actually it's not quite as fun as the van. It is a little bit less skittish on the back, and it is still an absolute hoot to drive. It is so much fun. If anyone out there has got a Fiesta ST that I could have a drive in, I'd love to see, if the cooking model diesel was this much fun, I'd love to see how much fun the Fiesta ST is, because that has got to be absolutely hilarious to drive. Let's turn the aircon on and put that on demist. So yeah, anyway, now I can see where I'm going again. This has got the heated windscreen, which is, as I think I said, in the van may be alright when you get used to it, but as someone that doesn't drive Fords very often nowadays, I just find it annoying at night. Ooh, we have a ice cream truck. That's rather optimistic.
Round the roundabout we go.
Yes, around the roundabout we go. Oh yes. Anyway, all right. Let me get some diesel, and when this person gets out of the way, I will be right back with you. Remembering on Fords, the petrol tank cap is on that side, and it's diesel. So, while the other me is filling up with diesel, let's have a look around it. Well, this is a 6th generation Fiesta, B409 and B299, I think the factory codes are, but this is a facelifted 6th generation. The 1.5 Duratorque diesel, 4-cylinder. Yeah. Let me give you some numbers. The numbers are 73 brake horsepower, 140 foot-pound of torque, a top speed of 104 miles an hour, 13.1 seconds to 60, 1043 kilograms, a laughable 78.5 mpg, although this gets closer to 50. The facelift like this was 2013, and the Mark 6 ran from 2008 to 2019. So there you go, there's the figures. So what else can I tell you about it? Well, this has got one problem that a lot of cars have nowadays, and that is these running lights. Now, I don't know how well it will show up on camera. These running lights are actually really bright. And what happens is, and if you've ever wondered why so many people drive around without lights on now, it's because actually these are so bright around town you actually forget you haven't got your headlights on. These let off enough light, plus the instrument binnacles are always lit up now, so that you actually forget you haven't got your headlights on. But other than that, it is what it is. There's not much really that interesting to say. It's a Fiesta. Is there anything that interesting about a Fiesta? You've got different size wipers. Well, I do think they should be a bit bigger. They don't go very high up. Although unlike my Renault, they do clear most of this area. My Renault seems to stop about here. It's reasonably roomy, it's reasonably comfortable, but we'll talk about more on the drive. The headlights are pretty good when you remember to turn them on. Now I know one thing is pretty much expected nowadays, and that's the engine. So there is the engine. Is it enough? Good. Let's have a look around inside. So apart from these typical modern car bings and bongs, let's just shut them up and turn the radio off. It's, well, the dash and everything's okay. So as I've already said, this is, you know, much the same as the van. Video for that in the link below. But you have your mirrors and windows, your lights and fog lights and things down there. Focus. No, you're not going to focus. There you go. Your dashboard, and you press the end stalk there for your various different functions. Thusly, your wipers and bits on that one. In the middle there you have your radio and bits, the horrible pointy out bit there. CD player, you have got bits down there for your various different SD cards, auxiliary and USB down there. 5-speed box, your air conditioning and stuff, and a glove box that is okay. So yeah, you know, much the same as the other one. I'm not entirely sure what's going on up there. We have this, why that couldn't be integrated into the mirror surround like most things. Instead we just have this rather nasty bit of unfinished plastic boxing up there. But yeah, as I've said, I think when I did the van, I don't like the fact that the radio controls are on this side. To me it just seems more intuitive if they're this side, but that's a personal thing. Also the key, more bings and bongs, no longer locks, so you have to put it in the right way, otherwise when it's in the drive position the key turns and then falls like that and can end up starting to pull it out. I'm guessing that's just down to age and wear. More bings and bongs. And also the cup holders down here are useless. Your Coke hangs just down there and knocks your cup of coffee over. Not ideal. Really not ideal. So what about in here? Well, it is a small car after all. I've got plenty of room under the chair for me feet to go, which you don't always get. But as you can tell with the seat in my position, and I'm 5'9", 5'10", my legs have got to be spayed out either side. I can't, there's not quite room. I can just get my knees in there, but it's not very comfortable. The seat's a bit hard. But you know, your armrest is in the right sort of place, and there is headroom, plenty of headroom. But other than that, this headrest is solid and blocks your view, so it feels a bit claustrophobic in here really. You want to be driving, you're doing that, otherwise you're just looking at this big solid headrest. It's not really a particularly pleasant place to be in the back here. Keep fit windows, but don't go all the way down. Got a coat hook, you've got side airbags in the back here. You don't even have an armrest. No, you wouldn't want to go far in the back of this car. Well, as usual with a modern car, the handle is down under here, right where all the mud gets, so you get dirty fingers. But it's reasonable size for a car of this type. You can get a couple of boxes, some bubble wrap, a jacket and some jump leads in there. The parcel shelf isn't very good, it's just sort of hangs here and doesn't always go back where it's meant to. It doesn't really fit very well, but you know, this wasn't an expensive car, so there we go. There's a look around a Mark 6 Ford Fiesta, facelifted version. Sun's come out and I've probably finished filling up with fuel now, so let's go back to past me, back at the petrol station, and get this wrapped up. First thing I don't like about it, it appears to be almost impossible to just fill it up with fuel. It just clicks off constantly. So you have to just sort of gently trickle the fuel in. Most annoying, as is a BMW that doesn't indicate properly, albeit that should be no surprise. So anyway, as I was saying before I had to go and get some fuel, it's still fun, still darty. Still a bit skittish on the back end. It grips well on the front end, and as I said, I would love to have a go in an ST, because if these cooking models are this good, the STs have got to be fantastic.
First exit.
The seats aren't brilliant, but I'm not keen on modern car seats anyway. It has a blind spot there, which I find unforgivable. You have these little sort of quarter light windows. From where I sit, that window is useless, so actually what you've got is this massive blind bit here, and the pillar means you can see even less. Just a massive blind spot created in the front A-pillar. Yeah, great design, Ford. As you can probably tell by the amount the camera's jigging around, it's still a very bumpy ride due to the short wheelbase. I really do need some better camera mounts, but money does not currently allow. The pedals. Now the pedals, I don't remember this being an issue in the van, but I find the brake pedal and the accelerator just that little bit too far apart, and I have got quite wide size 11 feet. Just makes heel and toe, or at least the way I heel and toe, just a little bit more difficult. You sometimes find your foot slipping off one or the other of the pedals, usually for me the brake pedal, which is not ideal.
Now then, after
this is completely the opposite to usual. Usually it's completely opposite nowadays. The pedals are too close in these small cars. You end up hitting more than one pedal. It's a car I have great fun on the back roads with. It's still not a car I would want to travel huge distances in. Now I know in a modern car that sounds a bit pathetic. A lot of people travel all over in a car like this and I'm very happy with it. Having been used to much bigger vehicles, I think this would get tiring. It is still working quite hard at sort of anything sort of 70 and above. Not that I obviously go above 70, officer. So yeah, just because I'm used to a bigger, slightly lazier car, I think I would get annoyed with this in long distances. But around town and on the B roads, it's a hoot. It's great fun. It's hilarious to drive. I love it. So as you can see on the twisty stuff, this thing is a hoot. It's not quick, but it's a bit like the old school cars, the cars I grew up driving, where you could have fun in them, but you didn't have to be going fast. Modern cars, it's too much about speed, too much about grip, and not enough about fun. The cars we grew up driving, skinny little 155, 13-inch wheels, and you had fun, but at a lower speed. I think it's Jay Leno regularly says, I could be wrong, but something along the lines of you can have more fun driving a slow car fast and a fast car slow, or something along them lines. Sounds better when he says it. And he's right. Because these things, they're not, you don't really ever push them to the limit, not on modern roads, and not, you know, these are still better than the cars I drove 30 years ago. Not quite 30 years ago, but you know what I mean. But they're still more fun than a lot of modern cars because of that very thing, because they're not that quick.
I hate to interrupt you, but after 600 meters, turn left.
Quite right, Stephen, interrupt as much as you like. You can have fun on the little back roads, and that's what these things are all about, having fun. In a lot of modern cars, you've got to be going so fast to get them to do anything. And with this, you know, alright, you're still doing 40, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, whatever, on the back roads. But that's all you need to do.
Now then, after 500 meters, turn right.
You know, I'm doing 45 along here, and I wouldn't really want to be doing much faster, maybe 50 as it opens out, because, you know, obviously you can't see what's coming. But as long as you keep... Oh my god, here we go. Every road I try and go down today is closed. Anyway. You know, the gear change is quite nice, the steering's quite nice. The handling is fun. It's good enough. It's all it needs to be. Colourful cow. I don't know if you should see the colourful cow, but it's a very colourful cow.
Turn left.
So yeah, I am enjoying running around in this for a few days while a week or so while my car is out of action. As I said, I don't think I'd want one of these as my main everyday company car, not the sort of miles I do, but for hooning around the back lanes, I'm having quite a bit of fun. Although, as you can see from there, it's not the quickest thing in the world, but it's fun. Like, share, subscribe, comment. So anyway, I have some fantastic content coming up in the future. Hopefully some of it with slightly better video. I can see this is a bit dark. I am doing my best with the audio. My radio mics don't seem to be very good, so I might have to invest in some better ones. But hopefully with some better content I'll get more of you people subscribing and watching, and it will make it worthwhile getting some better equipment. If nobody watches and subscribes, I shall cry. Ta-da!